Right, let's go with my red star. I'm going George Pickens out of Georgia.
Red Star!
See, that's how it's done, Mike. You say the name, you say the college, and then you leave a little gap.
Absolute scenes. So, George Pickens, 6'3", 210. They've met with him twice at the Combine, and Tomlin and Colbert both at the Georgia Pro Day earlier this week, as was the wide receiver coach, Frisman Jackson, as well. He put him through some drills this week. Watched the Alabama tape, immediately impactful on tape in the first quarter, played out the slot, 51 yards straight away, reception on an RPO deep ball, gets inside his man on a go route, never looked like he was going to be beaten, separation, speed, everything I want to see straight away. Catches with long arms in front of him, and he does make a lot of these kind of diving forwards, again, cricket-style catches. Just a really complete, good catch with the ball. Willing to get involved in blocks in the run game. He blocks people. He can literally bully people at times and put them on their arse, which he did against Michigan. Draws double coverage consistently. Good overall athlete, good speed, good agility, good catch radius. Can make difficult catches on off-target throws as well. Best usage would be in a downfield passing offense. He's got a good kind of level of smooth route running ability and can catch on a contested route as well. I really wish this is how Chase Claypool could play.
Caught the ball.
Yeah. I really wish he could do that. And he's definitely a red zone kind of... There was a red zone triple coverage play that he somehow caught. I don't know how we managed that, but unbelievable. But only concerns the ACL, and potentially the only other thing I had was doesn't always react to the snap. That was my only question mark on him.
I've got some red flags for you, but let's get back to those later. When you're watching these guys, it's key to find out what they do that's one special that you can write in like 5 words. And for George Pickens, he's physical at the catch point guy. You know, that's what he does amazingly well. I'd say there's somewhere between James Washington and Jamar Chase. Somewhere between that, right? Like James Washington's possibly its floor. There's a little bit of Jamar Chase to his game, right? Getting free, getting open downfield, high pointing, and just out physicaling at the catch point and making incredible catches. You know, long, strong arms, high point. I think he high points better than some of the taller guys in the class. You know, he's 6'3", so he's pretty tall, but his catch radius is humongous. Good release, good hands, good downfield ball tracking. Yeah, I like the guy. I mean, the ACL. Should I go into some of the red flags? What I found, suspended in 2019 for half a game for violating team rules, came back second half and then got ejected in that same game for punching a dude. And the head coach called him selfish and undisciplined. Yeah. So that's a Simon Winstanley red flag right there, character concerns. But then does that fit into his physical profile? The guy's a gangster out there.
Well, it would if I thought he was that physical.
Okay. And one last thing. Best season was 2019. Not really built off the promise of that season, so not progressing as we'd like. Everyone thought he was going to be a number one pick, and that's why he's in this conversation. I don't think that the last 2 years of tape have really been that of a first round conversation player. But I like him,
especially 2021. But granted, he only played a handful of games coming off the ACL. Is there something in the back of your mind that you think if you re-aggravate this injury, you're done? You could fall into a day 3 pick with back-to-back ACLs. So, if he maybe took his foot off the gas at the back end of 2021, you can't knock him overly forward. It's a major concern.
Yeah. It's funny, you're right. Like, this does seem to be the guy that Tomlin's showing a lot of interest in. They're out there at the Georgia Pro Day. They're focusing on him a little bit. We've seen the videos of him running his routes with Tomlin stood right next to him. I'm a little bit worried about it. I agree with basically all of what Gav said. What you've said are all my concerns, Gav. Best play came in 2019 as a freshman. He's got the Derek Stingley stink of not improving on freshman tape. You've been through the suspension and the selfish thing. That's a little bit worrying to me. The ACL thing, yeah. But then what I will add is, you're talking about his physicality. I was surprised to see how little aggression I saw in his game. Now, this is maybe different to what you're talking about, because you're talking about being physical at the catch point, which I agree with. I think he does go up there. He's another one of these pluckers. Great, strong plucker hands.
Pluckers. Mother pluckers.
Do like the hands. In fact, I actually agree with most of what Ketz has said in terms of the pros. I like a lot of the tape, purely off the tape. But, I don't know, I just build as like a highly physical guy. Well, I kind of see him being good in contested catch situations. I'm not sure he's so physical as a blocker or with the ball in his hands.
He's a good blocker, man. He's a good blocker.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll give you that. You're better at that than me, but...
Not necessarily.
With the ball in his hands, like I didn't see him being super physical. Looked a little bit lanky, dare I say it? I don't know. It's funny that Ket said that straight after mine because I'm out. So put him on your list.
He's not a good route runner, right? He's not smooth. Power and speed over agility. He doesn't really have much burst. You know what you're getting though, Mike. What do you think?
Do you know what? I really struggled with George Pickens' tape because, maybe it's a fault on my part because of the recency bias, and you look at the last few games and you just think, I didn't see a lot. It's one of those, if you didn't have the ACL injury, you presume he might have had a kickoff year, but then again, like you boys said, 2019 was his big year. 2020, I haven't got the stats in front of me, so I'll fall on your wisdom in terms of being his more productive years. I'm probably going to say I'm out if the push is going to be to take him at 20. That's probably a bit too rich for me. Day 2, I'm very much open to a conversation, and we have very good success of drafting wide receivers in that sort of range. I'm okay with that because I think
this is our 7th receiver, right? Our 7th receiver. Mm-hmm. So where are we thinking that the 7th receiver is going to get taken? Probably the top of the second round, middle of the second round.
I think so.
So would you be out or in with that value? Tough one.
The problem is we're not picking there.
I think he might slip to the back. I think he could fall to us in the back of the second, or even fall out the second altogether. Just because the injury thing as well, and then there's enough red flags there for it to be. I don't think he's guaranteed to go in the second round.
Do you mean he might fall out of the second round?
He could. Oh. Yeah, I'm not saying he will, but what I'm saying is, I think there's a good chance he's there on day 2 for us.
I think there's other receivers I like more than George Pickens, so I'm going to go out.
Agreed.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what, Gav? Yeah, almost exactly the same. There are others I prefer.
Wow. 3 of us are out, and one of us is a red star.
I'm on my island again.
I just struggle with downward project, like being great in 2019, then grading lower in a healthy season the year after, then tearing your ACL and having character concern. I don't know, man. There's too many question marks for me.
I love this. The Ket's contention is strong.
You're welcome.
Ket's a contrarian.